Alright, there is no mistake here. They skipped example 3. There was no example 3 in your paper. It went to 4 from 2. So in this video we'll be looking at example 4. And we're only going to do the approximate answer. We're not going to mess with the exact. So if we get a square root or whatever, we're going to round to the nearest tenth any measurements we find and just do an approximate answer by rounding to the nearest tenth. So in this one you can see we've got the two sides here, but we do not have the height. But in here we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, but I'm going to show you how you do it with trig again. We're going to set up a trig equation to solve for this missing height. So let's see, let's mark that height h. We're looking for this side, the height of this parallelogram. So we have our angle right here is 60. So if we label our sides with respect to this angle, this would be the hypotenuse right here across from the right angle. The side opposite would be our height. So here's the opposite side, OPP for opposite. And then the last side over here, this side on the bottom, would be the adjacent side, ADJ. Sorry for the writing, I'm just scribbling in here. Then we pick the two sides we're going to use in our trig equation. Of course, we're solving for the height, so we're going to have to use the opposite side. And we know the hypotenuse, so we'll have to use that. So remembering, there's the first two steps of our trig equation. You know, pick the angle, the 60-degree angle here, and labeling the sides, opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent. Now we're ready, and then choosing the two sides we're going to use, opposite and hypotenuse, and that is the sine function. So the sine of the angle, the sine of this 60-degree angle will equal the side opposite, which is our h, over our hypotenuse, which is 4. Then the next step, if you remember, is to put this over 1 and cross multiply. So one of the cross product is 1 times h, which is h, and the other cross product is 4 times the sine of 60 degrees, which, remember, we put 4 first and then the sine of 60. So it's already solved for h. You're just going to put this in your calculator. Remember to have your calculator on degrees, and when you put that in, I didn't put the answer down here, so we'll look at see what it came out over here. It should come out to 3.5 for that height, approximately, rounded to the nearest tenth. And then, of course, the base, usually we see it on the bottom over here, but opposite side is the same. So this side is 6, so this side is 6. If you think this is a base, that's fine. So the base is 6, and our height is 3.5. And now we're ready to go ahead and figure out our area, which is just base times height, 6 times 3.5. which is 21. And then the perimeter, remember, don't use the height in your perimeter, use the two sides. So the two sides are 4 and 6. So we take 2 times 6 plus 2 times 4. The perimeter of this is 20. Okay, so there's one. We had to set up a trig equation again. We learned that at the beginning of this semester. To figure out the height. Not too bad. So you're going to have another quick check to do. Go ahead and click on the next quick check, and then we'll get to this example 5 in a minute.